What's going on YouTube? It's your boy DollarMike back at again with another video. If you guys don't know what I do here on YouTube, I make personal finance videos. So I was talking about credit cards, budgeting, saving money, personal finance in general, anything related to money, investing. I got you covered 100%. So if you like any of that content or if you like what I'm talking about today, make sure you hit that like button and make sure you also subscribe down below. Now, as we all know, this year has been quite a year, and honestly, I don't even want to be bothered by looking back on it. In some aspects, in other aspects, it's been great. In some other aspect, it's been basically horrible. So we're not really here to talk about that. We're actually here to get your credit right in 2021, and in order for you to get your credit right in 2021, you can basically start right now. So let's not waste any more time. Let's actually get into the video. Let's talk about how you can get the best credit score possible for yourself in 2021 and basically forever. Let's go. So what exactly does a good credit score get you, and how much is a good credit score actually? A good credit score can get you the lowest interest rates on a brand new car, maybe a brand new house because you're moving out, maybe a brand new apartment because you're moving out with somebody you know, friends, or just by yourself, or even a personal loan you may be taking out because you might be starting a brand new business. On top of that, a better credit score can also get you better credit cards, and I've talked about plenty of credit cards on my channel, so make sure you check those videos out. I'm sitting at roughly 6 credit cards right now, and I'm doing just fine. Believe it or not, car insurance companies and just insurance companies in general may also do a soft pull on your credit to find out what your credit score is and offer you a different rate depending on what your credit score is. The higher the credit score, the better your rate is. The lower the credit score, the worse your rate is. It sucks that it has to be that way because you can pay your bills on time and everything as far as car insurance and renter's insurance and all that kind of stuff, but trust me, they check. And lastly, even some jobs might not hire you if you have bad credit. Typically, government agencies may do a soft pull on your credit to find out what your credit score actually is, and that might determine whether or not they hire you. That's a huge deal. You might be missing out on roughly $20,000, $30,000. It all really depends on what type of job you're applying for, but you could be missing out on a lot of money if you don't have good credit. Your credit score ranges anywhere between 300 and 850. Anywhere between 300 and 560 is considered terrible credit. You essentially won't be able to take advantage of anything I just mentioned, and if you are, then you're probably paying a crazy high interest rate, and trust me, you do not want that. That's more money out the door, more money that's not in your pocket that absolutely should be in your pocket. A score between 560 and 650 is still considered bad credit. Obviously, you're on the way to improving your score, but you still need a little bit more to basically get to where you want to be to get yourself the best loans on essentially everything. A score roughly between 650 and 700 is considered okay or fair credit. There's nothing wrong with this. You obviously won't get the best rates or maybe not even good rates, but you'll definitely be able to get something to help further yourself and increase your credit over time as long as you do everything you need to do that I'll explain in this video. A credit score between 700 and 750 will get you just about everything you need to get. It might not be the absolute best rate, but I'm pretty sure if you want to go grab a new credit card, if you want to go grab a new car and get a decent interest rate, a new apartment and get a decent interest rate, insurance, a job, they'll look at that and be like, okay, this is pretty normal. And on average, it is pretty normal. Anywhere between 700 and 750 is a pretty normal credit score. Obviously, you can get higher than that, but you shouldn't have any issues getting anything that I mentioned before. A score of 750 or higher essentially can get you anything you want. It's that simple. You also get the best rates on loans, all that kind of good stuff. Anything I mentioned before, you can go and grab. It shouldn't be any issue at all to take advantage of anything that's credit related with a credit score above 750. Now, how exactly is your credit score or FICO score broken down? I put the air quotes around FICO because that is essentially what we use to determine credit. No one actually knows the exact algorithm of how these credit bureaus determine our credit, but the FICO score is the closest bet. Your FICO score is broken down to 5 different categories: payment history, amounts owed or essentially credit utilization, the length of your credit history, credit mix, and new credit. Payment history accounts for 35% of your credit. So if your payment history is bad, then your credit score is probably going to be bad. All this basically means is that you have credit, you're paying it on time, you're paying it in full every single month. There are no late payments. Anything like that that might give you a flaw in your payment history is taken care of. All you have to do is simply have credit and pay it on time. And trust me, you'll have good payment history. You cannot accelerate this process. You simply have to weigh it out. It all comes with time. Just have credit, pay it off in full every single month, no late payments, and you'll be all good. The next category, amount owed or credit utilization, is essentially 30% of your credit. So once again, if this is bad, then your credit score probably is taking a nice little hit. It's not that good. The main goal of credit utilization or amounts owed is to keep your credit utilization under 30%. So let's say you have a credit card and you have a $1,000 credit limit on your credit card. Let's take, for instance, the Chase Sapphire Preferred that I have right here. The goal for me and the goal for you as well is to keep this card at 30% or under in utilization. So that essentially means that I do not put any more than $300 on this credit card at any given time, and I always make sure I pay it off in full every single month. And in the event that I cannot do that, and personally me, I always pay my credit card off in full every single month, but in the event that I can't do that, I always make sure I pay at least the minimum payment. Do not miss any minimum payments ever. If you miss a minimum payment, it's a late fee, and if you get a late fee, it's a nice hit on your credit. So don't do that. It's just going to impact your score for the worse, so make sure you pay your bills. I just can't stress that enough. Personally, I like to keep my credit utilization under 10%. So in that case, if I had a $1,000 limit on this card, I do not want to spend any more than $100 at any given time on this card and have a $100 balance on this card. And in this case, this credit card has a $10,000 limit. So overall, I don't really want to spend any more than $1,000 on this card at any given time. Now, the good thing about credit utilization or amount owed is basically that you can pay it off anytime you want. You can essentially pay it off as long as you have the money to pay it off. So you can essentially fix that score within a month, because as long as you have the money to pay it off, then you just go ahead and pay it off. Now, if you don't have the money for that, then that's a whole different story. But in the event that you do, you go pay it off and your score should go right back up. Your overall credit utilization or amount owed is calculated across all of your lines of credit. So let's say you have more than one credit card, as I do. This is 2 right here, but I actually have roughly 6. Overall, across all of my credit cards, I have a little bit over $60,000 in available credit. My goal is to keep that under 10% used on all the cards. And if I do hit 10% on all the cards, that's roughly what? $6,000. Before I even continue, those two things alone make up 65% of your credit. So like I mentioned before, if those two things aren't good, then your credit score probably won't be good, and only one of them is something you can change immediately. The other thing, payment history, you have to wait over time for that to improve. 15% of your credit score is calculated by the length of your credit history. According to Credit Karma, which I highly recommend everybody watching this video use, they don't pay me to say that, I wish they did, but honestly, it's just a great platform. Credit Karma tells you roughly what your credit score is. They don't know exactly, but it's always better to have somewhat of an estimate when you're going to actually go do basically anything. So it's nice to actually know what your credit score is. It doesn't impact your credit for signing up or anything like that, and they keep track of everything. So why not? Either way, Credit Karma says I have roughly 2 years and 7 months of an average credit age. According to Credit Karma, anything less than 2 years as far as credit age goes is pretty bad. Anything around 2 to 4 years is still pretty bad. It doesn't really start getting good until later past that, which is 5 to 6 years, which is pretty much okay. 7 to 8 years of a credit age is pretty good, and then 9+ years of credit age is excellent. But once again, this is something that you cannot accelerate. You have to just simply sit back, relax, and wait your time. So overall, the longer you have different types of credit accounts open, the better your credit score will be. It's simple as that, and you can't get around it. However, if you close a credit account, your credit score could possibly drop depending on how old that credit account actually is. So be mindful of that. Personally, my oldest credit account is my Bank of America credit card. I had this credit card for 3 years and 5 months roughly, so it's looking good, but I mean, it's only going to get better. I don't plan on closing this account, but if I did close this account, it would negatively affect my credit because it is my longest standing open account that has great payment history. I've never missed a payment, anything like that. So like I mentioned before, make sure you pay it off on time in full every single month. Make sure you keep it open, good standing, all that kind of good stuff, and you'll have just fine credit. Some things take time and other things simply don't. Credit mix is next, and that takes up roughly 10% of your credit score. Simply put, credit mixes different types of credit. So you can have credit cards, you can have a car loan, you can have a school loan, you can have an apartment loan, a house loan, a personal loan, and all of that was simply combined to give you the best credit mix possible. If you have all those different types of loans and they're all in good standing and you're paying for all of them every single month in full, then your credit score is probably pretty good, at least on the credit mix front of it. Personally, for myself, I have 6 different credit cards as well as a school loan and a car loan, which I recently just paid off, so I don't have to worry about that. That is off my credit score, and my credit score actually did go up a little bit from that, and I will be making a video talking about that as well. I haven't gotten around to doing that because I'm trying to drop a lot of content for you guys, and yeah, either way, it's coming. Last on the list is new credit, and that is 10% of your credit score. If you already have a good credit score and you haven't really opened any new lines of credit in the past year or so, then actually opening up a new line of credit could improve your score. Obviously, you don't need to open up new lines of credit all the time because all that actually is going to do is give you a whole bunch of hard inquiries on your account, and trust me, you do not want that. You don't need any credit bureaus looking at your report trying to figure out why you're applying for 17 cards in one day, maybe trying to buy a new car the next week and then a new house 2 months later. It doesn't really make much sense. Pace it out a little bit. Obviously, you can get strategic with it by opening up multiple credit cards in one day. That way your score would temporarily drop in the short term and then recover in the long term, instead of you getting one credit card 1 month and then the next credit card 3 months later, basically having your score drop twice. It's not really necessary. Either way, if you want to be strategic about it, then comment down below and let me know how you actually plan to do that, because I would love your insight, because I've done that before and I can also give you some pointers, some tips and stuff like that as well. So if you want to do something like that, that's cool. But if not, then just take it easy, relax, apply when you actually need some new credit, and you'll be just fine.
Sensational.
So that is essentially it. That is your credit score, and that is exactly how you can improve it for the better to make sure you can take advantage of every single opportunity that you want to take advantage of. If you have any questions, make sure you drop them down below in the comment section. You can also hit me up on my Instagram. You can hit me up on my Twitter. If you have questions, send them over there. Make sure you hit the like button so you can help me out as a channel and help everybody else out that might actually need help with this. And that is essentially that. If you guys want to check out my investing videos, you can get 4 free stocks when you sign up for Webull right now up until the end of this year. So make sure you check that out. You'll also get a free stock if you sign up for Robinhood, which I have videos on both, and I recommend both. That's simple. And that's kind of it. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, talking about credit, maybe credit limits. We can talk about how to increase your credit limits going forward in the future. We can talk about all that different kind of stuff. So make sure you just check out the rest of my channel. Make sure you let me know down in the comment section below. And that'll basically be it for this video. Thank you for watching. I'm out. DollarMike. Peace.